Assalamu alaikum, namaste, hotep, shalom alaikum, peace. This is Tracy Lene Muhammad, and I wanted just a few minutes of your very valuable and precious time to talk to you about the need to take your power back if you're giving it away. And here is a clue if you're giving your power away. If you've ever said to someone, "How could you do this to me?" you have given your power away. The minute you say to somebody, "You're doing something to me," or "Stop doing this to me," you've given them power and authority over your life. At any point, you can take your power back. You have legs. You're not a tree. You can walk away from fuckery. And I didn't even mean for that, the rhyme, it just did. You don't have to stay put. And I know it's not easy because I've had my share of allowing fuckery and putting out fuckery. So I know it's not easy, but it's doable. And if we continue to just say, "Well, it's easier said than done," no, do it. Say it and do it. It's easy to say, and it may be difficult to put it into practice, but it's not impossible. And until you take back your power, you're always going to be living in somebody else's life. I'm going to give you an exercise that I did, and it worked. And I know that it worked. I was kind of shocked at how well it did work, but I had allowed some stress to come into my life, and my whole left side was really bothering me. And I decided that I needed to meditate, but I decided that a lot of the stress was from past issues that I hadn't fully dealt with. And I had a trigger. And so when that trigger came up, I know my triggers, I decided to go within myself and work on it. What I do is first I sit for 10 minutes in silence without moving, to allow myself to kind of come into that space where I know I'm in my heart space, because I'm not looking at anything, I'm not listening to anything, I'm just totally with the intention. I say that first. My intention is to get still and go within. And then I visualize each person in my life that I felt had done something to me. And I gave them back their stuff. I said, "This doesn't belong to me. This is yours." And I went back to childhood. I dealt with my parents, my husband, my children, my friends, everybody that I felt had put something in my life that I had at any point said, "How could they do this to me?" And I gave it back to them. I visualized them sitting in front of me. I explained the situation to them, and I said, "This belongs to you, so you can have it back now." And I literally reached over and handed them back their stuff. And I saw them taking it back because it's not mine. So when I released all of that stuff from me, not only did I feel much lighter, I knew that I had broken down some barriers between me and prosperity. Because when you're living in other people's stuff, your stuff can't find you. It's a block. Here's another clue that the stuff that came into your life was more to teach you more about yourself. Because really what happens is not as important as how you react to it. How you react to it shows your character. I read in the book once, As a Man Thinketh. If you steal, if you lose your job and I'm paraphrasing, but you lose your job and then you go into stores stealing food, you're just a thief. And the opportunity to steal came up and you use an excuse, because you could have done something like maybe go to the store manager and say, "I'm very hungry. Is there any food that I could have?" And let's say that they don't do that. You obviously have burned all your bridges that you have a big ego, or you burned all your bridges that you had no friends that would give you some money to get some food until you got back on your feet. You're just a thief, and you needed the opportunity to become that. That's what that means. When whatever is inside of you is going to come out of you. I decided that, as life has been really challenging me, but I know it's because I'm talking and I'm giving all of these wonderful things that I get from other people, and I just apply it to my life. So life is like, let me see if she really mean that. It's just a test. See, when you study something, you have to have a test, because without the test, how do you know the stuff? So stuff is coming into my life space, and I'm handling it like a boss, because I know it's just a test. Now, there's one test I would fail hands down. If something happened to my children, I'd fail that test. And so I'm not even studying for that one, because I would fail it. But the other things that are coming into my life, I'm seeing more about myself. And one of the things I'm seeing is I'm pretty freaking awesome in terms of how I show up. I knew that, but the tests are helping me to see it. So how you show up in life, if when somebody angers you, you just blow up at everybody around you, you're just a nasty, mean asshole, and you just needed an opportunity to be that. You have to work on that. We each have the potential to be amazing, but you and only you know how to get that out of you. That you're so unique. Your DNA is unique. So the approaches that may work for you may not work for somebody else. So that's why I don't give advice to people anymore, because advice really is me saying, well, this is how I would do it. What I try to do now is say, have you tried tapping or have you tried meditation? Just giving them a bunch of stuff that worked for me, because something will work. I've decided that in life, I'm not being picked on. Life isn't picking on Tracy. Life is picking out of Tracy the things that are hindering Tracy from being absolutely spectacular. So I'm not being picked on. I'm being picked out for whatever it is that I want to do. And the same as you. I don't subscribe that somebody's more special than me on the planet. I don't subscribe that because somebody else's purpose is more world known that they're better than me. I think we're all on an even playing field. I think that even people who do things that are not the best, I'm not better than them. I'm making better choices. And the people who are doing things that I'm not doing, and they may be a little higher up, they're just making better choices, but it's available to each of us. And because I know that it's available to each of us, I've committed to living my best life. And the only way for me to do that is to show up authentically Tracy. And I do cry when I'm sad. I do laugh when I'm happy. I have a tribe that when I need to talk something through, I say, hey, I just need to talk this through. And I don't gossip my life anymore. I used to do that, just gossip my own life. That's what it's doing. When you're telling people stuff, not because you want them to help you, because you already know you ain't gonna do what they're telling you to do, even if it makes sense. You're just gossiping your own life. When people are coming to you, and you're listening to all and feeding on all of the things that are going wrong in their life, if you're doing it without giving them some suggestions on how they can improve it, then you're just allowing yourself to be a receptacle for negativity in somebody else's life. That's probably not the smartest thing you can do in a day. You'll probably find something more productive to do with your day than to listen to somebody tell you what's going on in their life with just the purposes of complaining about it, not willing to change it. Venting is dangerous, because sometimes venting can turn just into gossiping your own life. But I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just here to tell you some of the things that work for me. And that 10-minute meditation and then focusing in on giving people back their stuff worked for me, so much so that I gave somebody back their pain that they gave me, and they had that pain. Shocked the shit out of me that it worked like that. I said, oh, this does work. So I know that that works for me, and perhaps it'll work for you. So tomorrow is a new moon, and it's also a solar eclipse. That means it's a lot of good energy, and you can harness that good energy. What I'm doing is going to a river and performing a ritual. If you want to know more about it, you can inbox me or text me if you have my number, and I'll tell you all about it. It's just a way to help me vibrate higher. All things are just rituals to help you get to a higher place, because sometimes the things that happen in our life just can break us down, that we need to be built back up. So I'm going to do a ritual, and I know it works. I'm looking at my life from 5 years ago and seeing where I am now. When I started in 2015 with YouTube and just sleeping with forgiveness meditations, when I started with that, I see such a difference in me now that I'm not only am I in love with myself, I understand that love is the key to everything, and that the only choice is love. If I choose to live in love, love then removes anything from me that is showing up as fear or anger in other people. Doesn't mean that I am running around here choosing to live in love and I let people just do what they want to me. That's not what choosing to live in love. I love myself first. If I have to defend myself, of course, then I'll throw punch you if I have to. But if I don't have to, then if I can send you some love, I'll do that. You have an amazing rest of your day. I'm going to head on in this store and then head on home. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, hotep, shalom alaikum, peace out to Brooklyn and everywhere else.